Alright, I'm going to make this video here and hopefully go over some of the issues I'm finding about these caps that you insert in the lids of buckets. If you're a beekeeper, fill that bucket up with syrup, snap that lid on, flip it over, and then hope it does not leak. And hope is usually the prevailing thing with these bucket feeders. I'm going to show you the problem here that I'm having. Is they pop this hole in here. When you order these caps online, there's a hole right here, and that hole is to serve that when you put the cap into the lid and you invert it over, you don't want leaving it there for 2 weeks or so. You don't want this amount of feed to sit in that bucket, which is what will happen unless you have that hole come through right on the bottom here. So if you puncture a hole, all of that feed will come out that small hole, and you'll end up emptying your bucket into your hive, or the bees will end up sucking it out, whichever is first. But the problem here is, if you look, you're not going to find that hole along the rim of that cap, and so that hole is actually sitting. It's actually sitting up in here in the lid. And when you put these in and you're thinking, oh great, this is going to work, I can't wait to feed my bees, and you flip it over and then you look down on the bottom, the thing is leaking. It's leaking slowly out of the crack here. It's not coming out of the screen, and it's leaking through the circumference of this cap. And it's frustrating, and the company that makes these and pops that hole, I think they're popping that hole in there for a bucket lid, I'm sorry, that happens to be a lot thinner than the ones that I've ordered here. And they do make buckets that are real thin, I guess, in their caps, and that might work for you. Or the person popping that hole in there needs to be popping that hole down or drilling that hole right in here into this cap. But I'm not working with that. I'm going to skip out all this, because I just find that these feeders, they try to optimize the number of parts to them, and this is just a part that we need to get rid of. So you can do this yourself. I went ahead and bought some screen on Amazon, number 40 screen. I went ahead and cut it. I think you can buy a 2x2 foot roll of this screen, stainless steel, and cut it out. And what we're going to do is we're going to trim the excess material here. We're going to put that screen right on the lid, and then I'm going to show you how to melt it inside that lid. And I found that when it's impregnated into the lid, when you flip these puppies over, I have not seen, I've shook them, and I have not seen liquid come out unless you shake, and then it'll jet out. But when it sits on there, to me it seems like it's a better work, a better fix, and it's one less part of these things that you don't need to, or you can get rid of. So let's work on that right now.